Can we turn back the night? Stay in this street on repeat. Can we turn back the night? Same old places come alive. Wherever we are, feels like I'm seeing with new eyes. Even in the dark, let's go get lost. Just take my hand, ignore the cost. Forget the plan, and feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind, we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street on repeat. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street on repeat. Can we turn back the night? Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can't come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard. Just take a chance. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind, we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street on repeat. Can we turn back the night? Stay in the street on repeat.
What is good, Nim fam? Welcome back to the Team Help Ultimate Champion stream. I'm joined by the lovely SpeedyQ, and it's been another exciting week at Ultimate Champions with some site updates. Hey, Speedy.
That's correct. That's correct. We had a big update that occurred yesterday, and obviously a lot of people that potentially logged on for the first time would see that the league is inverted, as we experienced a bit earlier when we were chatting.
Yeah.
But some nice releases that they've added, like the new league interface, mobile friendliness, improved performance, and then enhanced visibility of key data. There has been some issues, as with any update, which our community has raised with us, and we've obviously sent it to the relative parties within Ultimate Champions to have them resolved and sorted.
Yeah, brilliant. Wow. It's been nice. It's good to see there's some progression going on and liking some of the new graphics. But yeah, I am gonna have to get used to the the inverted team. That'll take me a minute or two to get my head around. But with that, it is time, as usual, to move on to Silver Pack winning time. And Nimfam, it's a good week this week. You can get yourself a Silver Pack. Speedy, what have they got to do for the chance to win one?
Thanks very much, Damia. We're changing it up this week, so we won't actually present a Silver Pack after this podcast. But the question is for each and every one of you, which athlete do you think will score the most UC points in Gameweek 131, which starts tomorrow? What I need you to do is obviously put your UC manager name and your selection. Just select one. In the chat, obviously you need to like and subscribe, as we always do, and we will actually do the live draw, or we will announce the winner when we have our next podcast, once we have the results from the game week. If there are any ties, so certain of you guys have selected the same players, we will then draw between those players to see who gets that Silver Pack. So that should be quite exciting, and hopefully you put the correct names down.
Yeah, so get it in the chat, guys. Let us know. And that'll be interesting. So if there is usually every week a few stack ups of the same name. So that should be quite fun to see how that plays out for sure. Okay, but before we continue on to game week 131 and give you guys all the luscious tips that you need, we think we just ought to need to recap on the players we picked out for game week 129, Speedy?
Yeah. So obviously 129 was the stream that we focused on our Barcelona athletes and Barcelona as a team basically joining Ultimate Champions. It was quite funny seeing most or all of our champs playing without a goalkeeper in the specific tournament, obviously with Tesegan being injured. So the focus is, as you can see with the image, was Pedri, Frankie de Jong, and Joao Felix. We did mention last week in the stream that Barcelona has not had the best record against Rayo Vallecano, and that obviously continued with a disappointing draw due to the various injuries, as we discussed, traveling back from international fixtures, and also they had a massive Champions League tie this week as well. So that obviously was why there was so much different selections in the actual starting lineup. So if we have a look at our three players, Pedri 75 minutes, Frankie de Jong 90 minutes, Joao Felix came on in the second half 35 minutes. The only highlight is that you and I got our first hat trick. If you have a look, we have a hat trick of yellow cards for all three of those selections. What I can say, though, about Barcelona is I watched them midweek against Porto. It was a really big game because both of them were on the same amount of points. They came back from one goal behind and won 2-1. And they really, really played well, especially in the latter stages of that game. So let's hope they do have a tough game on the weekend against Atletico Madrid, but let's hope this might be the turning point for them to play some fluent football and get us all some massive points going forward.
Yeah, here's hoping. Here's hoping anyway. It's very exciting though, nonetheless. I still very much enjoyed it, even though it didn't quite go to plan. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the players. So how did the team as a whole do?
So the team as a whole, as we mentioned, they drew 1-1. I did put a couple of stats for certain athletes that did play well in that game. So you've got your Inigo Martinez, who scored 168 points in a 1-1 draw. You can also see the breakdown of some of the scoring matrix points with his possessive and defensive stats. Andreas Christensen, which no one really thought he would start going into that specific game, did the second best for them. And then the youngster, Lamine Yamal, the 16-year-old, the youngest player to score for Barcelona, scored 139 points. He was also substituted off. I think they brought Rapinho on for him, but scoring those amounts of points without any highlights is very, very promising for a 16-year-old playing at that level.
Yeah, and annoyingly, if anyone was here in the stream this time last week, I did pull Christensen and Yamal. We just didn't start either of them. So it's just typical, really, isn't it? But at least I have them, I guess. So I can't really complain. I think Christensen was just a common rather than an epic. So.
There's still a long season to go in the La Liga, as we know. Obviously, we're all going to be prepared for rotation. If I can put them in the same bracket, not potentially how they're playing at the moment, but as Man City, we all know there's a lot of squad rotation. They're involved with a lot of tournaments and cups and things like that. So we always need to keep our ear on the press and see what's happening surrounding them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, with that, I think it's probably a good time for us to take a look at game week 131 and the teams to target.
Thanks, Nim. Before I jump into the three teams that we've selected, I'm going to mention a couple of nice fixtures coming up for
Oh,
our champs that are listening.
okay.
Arsenal versus Wolves. Arsenal has the best defense in the Premier League this season and basically always score at home. We saw a great game last night when they gave a nice hiding with quite a few goals and most of the team scoring. UTA Arad versus Hermannstadt. Hermannstadt are unbeaten in their last 13 Superliga matches. So go and have a look at some of their players and see who you can put in. Borisani versus Rapid. Rapid is third on the Romanian Super League log, and they have scored more goals than any other team in the Superliga this season. So have a look at them. They're playing against Borisani away from home, but they're a decent team. Then Partizan versus Vojvodina. Partizan is also top of the Mozart Bet Superliga and play against a team who has conceded 26 goals in 15 matches. And then the last couple is Zlata Moravka versus Zelina. Zelina play bottom of the table. Zlata, FCSB versus Ottolol. FCSB hasn't been playing, I would say, the best lately, but it's a good time for them to come right. And then last but not least, the Bundesliga table toppers, Leverkusen versus Dortmund. They're having such a great season. I would select their players no matter who they actually play against. The three teams, though, I have selected to highlight and focus on is Hibernian, Hibs from the Scottish Premiership. They're currently fifth on the table. As you can see, they've played 14, won 4, drawn 6, lost 4. Not the best stats if you look at it. However, they are unbeaten in their last 5 Premiership matches. And with a home game against Aberdeen in Gameweek 131, they should extend this run. They had a very poor start to the season, but when new manager Nick Montgomery took over, they've only lost 1 Premiership match since then. So athletes to look out for: Joe Newell, William Fish, David Marshall are the obvious selections. However, have a look at Jair Tavares and Josh Campbell. Both of them have scored 2 goals each in their last couple of games for Hibernian. So some nice selections potentially from Hibs for this game week coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Then moving on to the Eliteserien, it is the last game week on Ultimate Champions and for the Eliteserien League. Boda have basically wrapped it up, even though they lost last week to second place Bran 4-2. They basically wrapped the league title up.
Pellegrini with 1 point. 3 points, even 3 points.
Point.
3 points.
He came off they didn't play him. He came off the bench when they were down already. I think with them already having wrapped up the league, there was a bit of rotation going on. So yeah, I think that's potentially one of his worst scores that he's had in Ultimate Champions. But the team I want to focus on is Odd. As you can see, they've played 29, won 9, drawn 8, lost 12. They play bottom of the log, and relegation confirmed Arlesund in the last game. And if you can see their stats, I would steer away from Odd's defense. I think I mentioned it before in the previous podcast. Norway seems to be goal-driven, no matter which team, and there are not many clean sheets. However, Mikkel Ingebrigtsen is fresh off a brace and an assist in a previous match. I think he scored like 300 and something points on Ultimate Champions. And then Philip Jorgensen, the 20-year-old, is Odd's leading goal scorer and scored a brace in their last match as well. They were involved in a 4-4 draw. And with them playing Arlesund this weekend, I see them banging in a couple more goals and getting a couple big scores within Ultimate Champions as well.
Yeah, I hear you. It's a bit more kind of score one more than you, isn't it? Kind of mentality for sure.
It is. If you look at the goals for and the goals against for any team, really, it's quite crazy within the Eliteserien. And then final team is Zelina in the Serbian Superliga. They play away to bottom of the table, Zlata. I think we've mentioned Zlata before with another team. They seem to be bottom of the table quite regularly. And with Zelina, they're unbeaten in their last 7 games and sitting second currently. So I would potentially see another victory. Athletes to look out for: David Juris, Mario Sawa, Timotaj Jumbo. I actually saw Timotaj Jumbo on our trading channel within Discord. Someone looking to flog him and get rid of him. So together those 3 players have combined for a total of 23 goals and assists amongst them. Zlate has only scored 7 goals this whole season thus far. So I think any players, even from the defense from Zelina, would be good selections.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Should be a good one, that one. I'm looking forward to it. So, shall we pick out 3 of our top players for people to look out for?
First one, Lubomir Belko. He's a goalkeeper. Played 15, 49 saves, 5 clean sheets. I was fortunate to pick up his common recently. Played him in the Global League in Gameweek 129, and he scored 175 points as a common. He averages over 3 saves per game. Has kept 5 clean sheets, as I mentioned. Have a look at that interesting stat for a goalkeeper. He has 2 assists in this season. Those 2 assists came in back-to-back games, and strangely enough, one of those assists came against the team that he is playing this game week.
No way. That's like gold dust.
Yes, exactly. They are obviously very, very few and far between. But it's just a nice stat to see that a goalkeeper has 2 assists within a season that has basically just begun because they're in their 15th game. There are 2 epics available on the marketplace if anyone is interested. And if you have his common, slot him into your global league for a high potential of a clean sheet. As I mentioned, they are playing bottom of the table, Zlate, and maybe he gets another assist.
Yeah. That is just amazing. I absolutely love it when goalkeepers assist, because it just happens so rarely. It's a lot of fun for sure. I just before you crack on with the next one, buddy, just wanted to welcome Sergio to the NIM fam. Thank you very much for subscribing. Okay, crack on.
We had just before I crack on, we had I think if it was not last season, it was the season before. Sonny Jiang, he's at Middlesbrough. He actually scored, and he scored going up. They were 1-0 down or whatever it may be, and he went up for a corner, and he scored a massive 700 and something points on UC just because of that goal. So it's always amazing to see that from the keepers. The next one is a very exciting player, especially this season, Sami Smodic. He's playing for Blackburn, which is not a UC licensed team, but he did play for Peterborough. So there are these cards available within the game. Look at his stats. He's played 18, goals 13, 2 assists. His last 5 average of 193 points. He had a tough first season when he left Peterborough and went to Blackburn. I think in his 34 appearance, he only scored 5 times and he assisted twice. He has been on fire this season. He scored 6 goals in his last 4 matches, and he scored 2 last night. I think it was against Birmingham. Blackburn beat them 4-2. I think it ended 4-2 or 4-3. He scored 2 of those goals. They are playing Sheffield Wednesday this weekend. We know that Sheffield Wednesday is not, unfortunately, doing the best at the moment, although the last 2 games there have been signs of some fight from them. So, like I said, there are 29 epics, 12 mythics, and 2 uniques in circulation. I didn't see any on the marketplace, but if you want one, go and start knocking on managers' doors and see if you can pry one away from them.
Yeah, I think I might have to. Anybody out there who fancies selling one, just knock on my door.
I think with those stats, he'll be a pretty penny as well.
Yeah.
But a good player. If you've got him, play him wherever you can. And then another athlete that's just recently come back from injury is Piero Hincapi with our Leverkusen team, who's doing so well this season. As you can see, he's only played 4 due to that specific injury. He's 21 years old. He has come back. He's played the last 2 games in full with scores of 199 and 212 points. Like I said earlier in the stream, the way Leverkusen are playing this season, having 5 clean sheets, conceding only 10 goals, I would have him in my team. They're playing Dortmund, which potentially could be a tricky one because Dortmund are 4th at the moment, but Leverkusen is playing some fire football. They seem to have a really great team that is gelled together. So if you've got Pirro, put him in.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to I noticed here John is an FPL guy. He's an OG to the channel, and he's a little interested in the game. I just wanted to kind of expand on what I was saying about the points there, John. For anyone new, is that there are a lot more points on offer here in Ultimate Champions than there are with FPL. You can get things, points for passing completions, defensive, like gains, that sort of thing. So there's a lot more points on offer than just your goals, your assists, and your clean sheet, right, Speedy?
That's correct. The great thing about it, I play FPL as well regularly, where we get our normal single points for the major highlights, your goals, assists, clean sheets, etc. Within Ultimate Champions, as you mentioned, it takes your possessive, your attacking stats, club actions. So if your team scores and you are on the pitch, a forward, a midfielder, defender, goalkeeper will get a certain amount of those points because of that goal. And as Nim mentioned, passes, long balls, throw-ins, missed throw-ins, etc. It's very intuitive. So where in FPL, we don't necessarily want your central defensive midfielders.
Yeah.
In Ultimate Champions, your central defensive midfielders could be one of your best buys or purchases or athletes within your team.
Yeah, absolutely. Jack Kelly says, "Speedy, looking cute." That'll be the upgrade on the cameras we did there. Give us a shout out if you're loving the camera work. Roro in the chat, welcome, buddy. We have Ant in the chat, Ahmed, Radu, Ramus. Thank you all so much. We got your feedback in Discord last week about things being a little bit early. So we've tried our best to squeeze this in when Speedy has quite a busy night with quizzes and all sorts for you guys. So when you're done up here, make sure you go on over to Discord and have a go at the quiz for sure. But we don't have much to report on either of our teams after the Barcelona showing or unshowing last week for sure for Gameweek 129. So this is... Oh, go on, buddy.
No, apologies. Yeah, as I said, no exciting champs and things like that. A little bit of MGC spread around, and that's about it.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed from last week to this week is the cards that we get now as rewards as well. So I got a couple of common cards as well along with that MGC. But yeah, so this is how I am lining up for my UC tier 1. This is for Game Week 131, and to be honest, because a lot of the new requirements have just come into effect, basically I'm a little short on mythics right now to continue entering the tournaments that I was entering. So this is basically what I've gone with for now for this week, and we've just tried to keep it quite simple. This week I will either look into getting a gold pack with my MGC and hope on, stumbling across a mythic that way. Or maybe I might be able to look at gaining a mythic through buying one. So that's probably what I'll do this week, because I would like to continue progressing with the UC1 tournament, since that's kind of the road I've started down. And we've decided to run with Leno this week in goalkeep. We're not expecting a whole lot from him. Are we, Speedy?
I think one thing about Leno, he hasn't been performing that well. And when I say performing that well, I'm speaking about UC stats wise this season. He was a gun last season. He makes a lot of saves, and you never know in the Premier League when someone's going to put up a fight, make a lot of saves. He will make a lot of saves because Liverpool is very attacking and the way they play their football. Looking at the other options that we potentially had, I think we had Desmar, who's playing Paris Saint-Germain, and we had a couple of others. Him being an epic, I think it's good to throw him in to the five-a-side UC International 1 tournament. And if he flies and does well and makes a couple of saves, even if he does concede one or two, he could potentially still score very, very well. As you can see, we've got Gabriel in defense because of Arsenal's great defensive record. They're also playing Wolves this weekend. So hopefully they can keep a clean sheet at the back and score some goals going up front. Nim, you've got your Saka in, and obviously our go-to each week captain, which is Palacios for Wolfsburg. And then Ito had a nice score. He's scoring consistently well on UC, but he had a nice score the previous week, and they've got a decent fixture as well. As you were mentioning, with the new tournament division requirements, the pro now, you basically need to have at least one mythic card. So at this stage, Nim cannot enter there until we get that first mythic, which we will be striving for. However, other than this specific five-a-side team, we have also put a team in the Ultimate Champions Amateur 11-a-side, and also in the Underdog, I think it was semi-pro team as well, to cover our bases on the other tournaments. As Nim mentioned about the star packs have basically just been released. So all of that chat and hype about what we're going to do and how those MGC packs are going to be restructured, they are now available. Go and have a look at them. Go and look at the collection score to make sure that which ones you qualify for. What I would suggest, try not to spend it on those low ones. Bide your time, grind over a couple of game weeks, earn that MGC, and put your aim at a nice gold pack or higher, and see what you can get to assist your progression.
Yeah, absolutely. So the patience is absolutely what I found with Ultimate Champions, is that I feel like, especially when you're starting out, you want to run before you can walk. So you want to like have all of the cards that everyone else has got, and this player's done really well this week, so you want to buy that player in, and there's definitely a bit of that at the start. But I think doing these streams with you, and also like, you know, doing my streams with Shambles, with Johnny, and with Gunner, it's definitely taught me that patience is key with Ultimate Champions, and really kind of like grinding and getting that MGC. Like, thankfully, I don't have the itch quite so much, just to, whenever it's in there now, just to spend it straight away. I feel like it's kind of definitely like almost with FPL, like if you wanted a Haaland, it's just, rather than spending your money every week on like, you know, cheaper assets, it's just better to kind of grind, get the money up and buy your Haaland. You know, that's kind of how I've gone with it. Just to let you guys know, it's telling me that I have a stacking penalty for this particular team. I don't. That is a glitch which the guys are sorting out for us at the moment. The technical team are on it. Speedy assures me. So there's no stacking penalty with this, because I obviously don't. You know, Leno doesn't now still belong to Arsenal, so I literally only have Saka and Gabriel playing in this five-a-side. So that should be all good by the time we get around to things going. But yes, Jack Kelly says was there a question for the pack giveaway? And Bob said, yeah, UC player do you think scores the most for this up and coming game week? So yeah, don't forget to get that into the chat, guys. Definitely do that now, because we will be wrapping up very, very soon. And yes, if go on, buddy.
Just to add for the competition, we won't take into consideration if you have a mythic or epic compared to a common. It will be the normal base UC score on whichever athlete scores the best for game week 131. So good luck to all of you. Hope you select wisely.
Yeah, I saw there was some double ups already, so this should get quite interesting. There's a lot of Comans in the chat, a lot of Sackers.
Yes, I've seen a Bjorthoff as well, and a Frankie de Jong.
Well, I've got a few of those in, so hopefully, hopefully that does come about. I would like I think I've even captained Jehl in one of the random like underdog leagues or something. So it'd be nice if he does come through for sure. Yeah, that's Shambles iconic as I'm one of the most impulsive guys on the platform. It's true, but you know, I think when you're starting out, sometimes you just have to grind. You just have to grind. You know, but you gave me great advice, so all good. Thank you, and Nazarat. All the best, everyone. That's a great way to finish up the stream. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's short and sweet here with our Ultimate Champion streams. We just like to get in, give you the information, and get back out of here again and let you digest it. So with that, do make sure you go check out the Discord channel. If you're new to Ultimate Champions, for sure, make sure you go and check it out, because like FPL, Twitter is the main hub for Ultimate Champions. Discord is definitely the main hub for those guys. So make sure you go check that out and have the most amazing week. Oh, remember, only to invest what you can afford. You can absolutely play this game for free. And I'm wishing you all the luck, Speedy. Have a great, great game week. Hopefully we'll have something to chat about with one of our teams next week.
Let's see what happens. Really appreciate it. Wish you all the best of luck, and all of our champs listening and our champs within Ultimate Champions. May they have a big game week. And hopefully Barcelona comes on fire for all of us.
Yes, hopefully they come around this week for sure. Okay then, guys. Well, lots of luck, and hopefully let us know who wins that silver pack. Make sure you're in the stream next week to gloat. And until next time, that's Speedy and Nim out. Bye, guys.
Feels like I'm caught up in a trance. Can come down all night. The city never stood a chance. With you by my side, it's all ours. So don't second guess. Let down your guard. Just take a chance. I feel the hours ticking down. Wish I could turn it all around, but in my mind we're frozen perfectly in time. Can we turn back the night and stay in this dream for repeat?